Now, the tornado ravaged St. John's Hospital. It was eventually torn down, and Mercy Hospital was rebuilt in a new location. Now an open-air chapel sits in its place. When the tornado hit, one of St. John's towers was rotated several inches on its foundation. In the aftermath, immediately after, a field hospital was established nearby to care for patients who quickly had to be evacuated. 41 Action News anchor Lindsay Shively recently talked with two St. John's employees now at Mercy Hospital about their mission then and now.
Donna Stokes has worked for Mercy Hospital for more than 40 years. 10 years ago, it was known as St. John's Regional Medical Center, and she was at home when one of her sons came in hearing the sirens.
Kind of that hair standing up on your arms type of situation. So I told him, you know, get the dog, get your shoes. I have never said get your shoes to anyone and go to the basement. Got down the steps of the basement, I mean, just barely. And the tornado hit. And we could hear the house disappear.
You heard the house?
Yes, we did.
And it was extremely, it looked like it was midnight.
Kevin Kepley was caring for patients on the 7th floor that night. Hospital security footage shows when the storm hit.
So we started taking cover and the windows busted and debris was flying. So there were 9 of us in a 2x2 room with the patient, trying to keep them safe.
Just when they thought the storm had passed.
And then the backside hit. You could hear things. The building, you could feel the building shaking. So the whole time you're in there, you're thinking about, was today the last day I saw my family when I came to work? Are we all gonna survive and get out of here? You could still hear and feel the air as the tornado was still going on because it was still happening while we were coming out and taking care of people.
It's likely more than 200 people were in the hospital that night, including about 150 patients. Mercy Hospital says 5 tornado victims were in St. John's.
It didn't take long to start hearing that the hospital had taken a direct hit. Your mind goes, you know, I need to be there, but how? We were already starting to look at what was in the hospital, what could be salvaged, you know, and that was my job. Just within 48 hours when we were able to get into the building, there was mold starting to grow and really not very much of anything that came out of the building that could be salvaged for medical care.
Finding supplies to, within days, building a tent-filled hospital in the shadow of the battered building. Over the weeks and months, they worked to keep moving forward.
You couldn't call anyone to say, hey, what do you do in this situation? Because really no one's been in that situation before.
Eventually, St. John's came down.
It protected as many patients and staff as it could that day.
It was definitely built to withstand the elements, and thank God it did.
It was a tough old building.
Was that a hard day too?
Yes, I watched. Had to.
It was very difficult, you know, because that was home.
10 years later, they've stayed, they've battled a pandemic, and they both still work at the rebuilt Mercy Hospital in Joplin.
You know, this building is a testament to some of the resolve that the community has.
Donna's family rebuilt their home, and she keeps hold of something she heard shortly after the storm.
Mercy is alive and well in Joplin. Hold on to that because, by golly, we made it through all of those struggles to this beautiful building that you see here today.
Mercy is alive and well in every sense of the word?
Yes, absolutely.
Lindsay Shively, 41 Action News.